Sami Zayn needs to hear the truth. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what that truth is and why it's so important. And Sami Zayn fans out there, you won't like this. And Sami Zayn haters out there, you are going to love this. I don't even take joy in making this video and talking about this potential subject, right? Because Sami Zayn's a guy that I've followed for years. I've seen him in the ROH days. I missed out on the PWG days. But Sami Zayn is a guy that has been able to build an audience. He's been able to build a connection with the fan base that is deep and goes far. It's something in which is actually remarkable to think about where he's come to where he is now. You go back to his NXT days, his ROH days, even his early main roster days, right? He's a completely different performer. His level right now is at its highest. He has never been better, both in the ring, on the mic, or character-wise. Now, obviously, he is coming off of a pretty devastating loss. He put over Braun Breaker at SummerSlam. He dropped the Intercontinental title. It was a decision in which I understand. It's a decision in which I agree with. It's also a decision that I question. And the only reason that I question it is, why did we have to have Braun Breaker lose at Money in the Bank, right? Because it was reported that, well, WWE, they want Braun Breaker to have a big moment in his big title win, his first title win on the main roster. And it's like, okay, so that's why you booked it at SummerSlam? Yeah, that's why we did that. Well, why did we have to beat him in the first place? Like, why couldn't you just not have him on the Money in the Bank card, yet continue the feud with Sami? You want Sami on the card? All right, have him defend it against someone else. Like, I don't understand that necessarily. I think that's illogical. But that's just my opinion. They went with what they went with. And coming out of SummerSlam, you know, he's being paired back up with Jey Uso. And it's something that works. It always has. Probably always will, because they're two super duper over baby faces. And they actually have a lot more in common than you may think, considering they have a connection with the fan base that makes them two of the most over guys in the business. But at the same time, they kind of have the ceiling in WWE. And that's what I wanted to talk about in this video, because Sami Zayn, whether you think that he can be a main eventer or whether you think he can't be a main eventer, he's been in those moments, right? He's been with the Bloodline. He's feuded with Roman Reigns. He has been able to go up against some of the biggest names in modern wrestling today, including dethroning Gunther as Intercontinental Champion at WrestleMania 40, you know, our current World Heavyweight Champion. But it got me thinking. I think it's something to really consider for Sami Zayn fans. And the fact is, and this is the point of this video, so listen up, it's very likely Sami Zayn's never going to be a world champion in WWE. And I know that's hard to say, and I think that everyone needs to accept that, and I'll tell you why. The fact is, regardless of how good he is in the ring, regardless of his promo work and his character work, he doesn't fit the WWE mold. He doesn't look like a main eventer in WWE. He doesn't look, from a presentation-wise, from a character standpoint, even to the way that he works in the ring, he's not what a world champion in WWE is supposed to be like. Now, could that change under Triple H? Sure. But we've seen up to this point, it's not. Triple H and Vince McMahon, regardless of whether you like it or not, they're very similar in terms of who they like and who they don't like. The only difference really is like Bobby Lashley, but he's just an older guy, I think. And MVP talked trash about him. Anyways, I just don't think that it's a guaranteed lock that Sami Zayn is going to be a world champion in WWE. I just don't. And I think most people, they have a hard time grasping that. I think there's this foregone conclusion out there that Sami Zayn's going to be a world champion one day. And I just don't buy it. I just don't. He's a little bit older. He's up in his 40s, if not, or late 30s. Someone do a Google search and let me know if I'm right or wrong in the comments area below. Am I really that out of whack to think that Sami Zayn's never going to be a world champion in WWE? I mean, let me know down in the commentary below. I want to hear your opinion. Maybe I'm far-fetched, but I just don't see it just based off of everything that I've talked about. I think he's going to be a guy for the remainder of his WWE career. He's going to be a upper mid-card guy who can work with anyone and everyone. He can put on a great match with anyone and everyone. He can do promos with anyone and everyone. But at the same time, he's never going to break through that glass ceiling. He's always going to be an upper mid-carder. He's always going to be an IC champion, US champion, tag team champion, that type of player. There's nothing wrong with that. Look, you can make a lot of money doing that. And he's got a family, and there are responsibilities that come along with world champion that not a lot of people like, right? Gunther, he hates doing interviews. He despises them. Well, guess what? He's going to have to do a lot more now that he's world champion, right? Like, it's just the reality of the situation. I think they gave Sami Zayn that title win at WrestleMania because, A, they had to have someone beat Gunther because Gunther had this belt for so long, and B, they had to have him drop it at WrestleMania, so you might as well give it to a guy that's super duper over, that can carry the title consisting of a notable run, right? They knew they were going to give Sami the title. They knew Sami was going to go on a long run. I would count multiple months as a long run. I don't know about you. Gunther, he built up the prestige of that title to the point where they got to where they got it, and they had to sustain it. They had to keep it going, right? You can't have this guy hold the belt for however long Gunther did, a year and a half, 2 years, whatever it was, and then, have a 30-day reign, right? You can't do that. And you can't just put it on some scrub, so you had to put it on Sami, right? And so it's okay, he got the win, because up to that point, he could never beat Gunther, right? That was a narrative. But they had to get the belt off his Gunther, right? They wanted to have him win King of the Ring. They needed a little bit of cooling off period for him. He took some time off. He wins King of the Ring. He goes to SummerSlam. He beats Damian Priest for the world title, and we're off to the races with Gunther, and Sami's doing what he's doing on Monday Night Raw with Jey Uso, right? It's a reality of the situation. We will see whether or not I'm wrong. History will come back to this video, and people can comment down below whether I'm right or wrong. But I just don't see it. Now, look, the good thing is this. Sami Zayn was well booked under Triple H and NXT for years. He's been well booked on the main roster under Triple H for the last 2 years, right? I think what he is being able to do on the main roster under Triple H's leadership is great. It's fantastic. But it doesn't mean he's going to be world champion either. That's my whole point. Let me know down in the comments area below. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more wrestling content. And like I said, let me know down in the comments area below whether or not you agree with me or not on this topic. And I will see each and every one of you in the next video.